I am a terrible cache owner. Not long ago, some caches around me got archived, opening up some of my favorite locations for cache placement. While I was there, I had a realization. I think I left my front door open, and that was followed by another realization. Despite enjoying this spot, and despite geocaching being one of my favorite hobbies, I just don't think I'm gonna want to take the time to come out here whenever there's a problem or whenever this needs maintenance. In essence, I treat my hides like I treat my children. I have a lot of fun making them, but once they're out, I don't want to deal with them. Oh, Skimbosh, I hear you say, because I've been secretly recording you and piecing together a rudimentary speech replicator. Skimbosh, I hear you say, if you're billing yourself as a terrible cache owner, why on earth would I take your advice? Well, that's a good question, and I really wish I put an off switch on the speech replicator. You will learn from my mistakes and observations, Grasshopper. I do believe most of what I say, although I certainly embellish and exaggerate my feelings and descriptions for what I hope is humorous effect. It's important to note that this is not some step-by-step guide for new hiders. There isn't really anything technical in here. If you're looking for that, I'm sure we can hook you up with the appropriate videos or links in the description or comments. My advice here is more supplementary and slightly philosophical in nature that may be of benefit to new and experienced hiders, and I will presume you have read the basic hiding rules from HQ. Another important thing to note is that the footage doesn't match the audio. I'm just putting in cool caches that I've recorded over the years. None of these things or COs are examples of anything I am describing. Here's some advice. Have a reason for your cache, or be inspired to hide a cache. I'm sure you've encountered a cache where you thought, why'd they even bother? I know not every cache is for every person, and we all have different ideas of what makes a good cache, but I'm sure if you play the game for any amount of time, you have encountered one, if not many finds where there's nothing interesting about the cache or the location. There's no cool facts or historical tidbits in the description, it just says, there was no cache here, so I put one here, haha. Sometimes on our geocaching, I will see someone say they want to put out a cache, but they have no inspiration or any idea what to use as a container or even a spot selected. My advice, don't put a cache out then, until you get an idea or inspiration, because if you don't have that going when you put a cache out, then you're certainly not going to care enough to maintain and repair it when it gets messed up. You don't care, you didn't even have a reason to put it out. You get my drift, my logic here, and let's face it, caches get messed up, which leads us to the next advice. Prepare for stupid people. Does your cache have a custom piece? Better get 5 of them. Does your cache have a tool hanging from a chain or something like that? Better get 5 of them. Ibuprofen? Better get 5 of them because cache ownership can be a headache. I'm not even talking about dealing with mongoloid geo-smashers and bashers, I'm talking about the fresh from the factory, mint condition, grade A nincompoops that you share this planet with. And don't be turned away by my snootiness, I know I'm someone else's stupid if the amount of mystery caches I can't solve is any indication, but geocaching is very inclusive, and that includes well-meaning but poorly comprehending individuals with serious voids in the realms of problem-solving, dexterity, and empathy. Your cache can just be sitting on the ground and somebody will eventually mess it up. It may be 5 days, it may be 5 years, and your cache may succumb to nature before it happens, but stupid will eventually come for your cache. So stock up on spare parts and patience, and maybe treat your hides like one should treat their trackables. Once they're out there, consider them gone, and be pleasantly surprised every day that nothing bad happens to them. Oh, and you will start to get messages about your hide. People will ask for help, they'll ask point blank where it's hidden, people will message you and ask for credit because their friend told them they could, or to tell you, my mom couldn't find it, and she's usually very good at this. And you go out and check on it, and it's exactly where you placed it, and where the last 20 finders found it. So pop some of that ibuprofen. Hey, wait a minute, these are just Tic Tacs. Yeah. And remember, you're not obligated to help anyone that messages you, but if a lot of people are messaging you about your hide, maybe you messed something up. So consider that before you make fun of them, even if they have a name that's easy to make fun of, like Amanda or Phil. Here's some more advice. Would it kill you to run your cache name and description through a spell checker? And speaking of things that need to be checked, that puzzle that you think's really creative and mind-blowing, maybe what it really needs is a handful of playtesters before publication. It's 2026. Even if you're a recluse, you can get people from Reddit or Discord to give your puzzle a go to make sure it doesn't only make sense in your head. I'm not talking about puzzles that are hard, made by the large amount of people that are smarter than me. I'm talking about those puzzles that you finally have spoiled, and the only way you would have gotten it is if you possess possess some obscure, unsourceable knowledge about what order the characters were standing at the beginning of episode 55 of the Snorks, and nothing in the title, description, or clue has anything to do with the Snorks. There's no hidden codex, EXIF data, or cipher indicating the Snorks, not a whiff of Snorks to be had. I don't even know why Snorks popped into my head right away. They were just underwater Smurf knockoffs with emotive phalluses on their heads, which, sort of in a vague, really stretching the segue kind of way, brings us to the next advice. When you're out caching, you should be mindful of the environment. That's part of the Geocacher's Creed. Geocacher's Creed, I hear you say? Sorry, I really don't know how to turn off the speech replicator. Yes, I made a video on the Geocacher's Creed years ago, and I thank me for self-promoting myself. But as a cache owner, I ask, nay, expect you to consider the environment when placing a cache. Not every acre of woods needs Wally and Wanda Weekend confusing geocaching with being Indiana Jones macheteing their way to your cache because you didn't bother making note of trails and trailheads. Yes, I know a lot of caches are hidden in deep and remote areas, but that half-acre patch of trees next to your daughter's Little League field serves an important ecological function in your highly developed residential area, so maybe give some consideration to that before encouraging every geocacher in a 20-mile radius to start overturning and stomping on the only viable habitat for a multitude of species in, well, a 20-mile radius. Just something to think about at that next neighborhood picnic. Oh, I hear Wally and Wanda are hosting this year. He's cheating on her, and she has a gambling problem. In regards to deleting false logs, my observations are the majority of cache owners don't really care about this. They just want to get on with their game. But I don't begrudge people who do enforce this, especially when they have spent some time constructing or organizing a complex or challenging cache. There are some people who claim that not only do they not care about the rule regarding auditing logs, but you should not care either. These people are clearly cheaters in all aspects of their life and should be reported to the police because they probably hurt small fuzzy animals in their spare time as well. And if they ask, why do you care? It doesn't affect your game. Tell them, this time it's personal. Tell them if someone takes a secret car ride to the finish line on a charity marathon, it doesn't affect my personal achievement. No, I don't care about the cheater's opinion. I just don't want the cheater to get a medal. Sure, race how you want, but don't expect the rest of us to treat you like a legitimate marathon completer. Is that so hard to comprehend, Cheater McCheaterson? In the end, it's up to you. HQ isn't gonna bust down your door for not keeping up on your log audits, and the game will chug along whether you decide to do it or not. On the other side of the coin, if someone manages to bypass your difficulty 5 Snorks puzzle because they stumbled upon the final accidentally, you can't go deleting their log because you don't like the way they found it. As long as they didn't break anything or smash anything open or hold another geocacher upside down and shake them with coins and papers comically falling out of their pockets while screaming, "Tell me where the final is!" As long as they get their John Hancock on the paper, it's valid. And you know, it's hard not to talk about all this without addressing the cache owners that have hundreds of hides over a large area, and my public thoughts are that very few of you, and I mean very few, are capable of dealing with that amount of hides. I have several COs around me that pull this off. They're all over the place, but their hides aren't that repetitive, and they're often at interesting places or revolve around interesting concepts and tidbits, and they respond to maintenance and inquiries, the type of thing that makes them hardcore geocachers. But the rest of you suck at it. I don't know if you're going for some sort of stat or record, or you just like being in control of the area, but I find it very ignorant towards the rest of us when you can't seem to maintain your 634 caches, or at least check up on them once in a while, but you still seem to be pumping them out, and you put out so many because most of them are rather thoughtless caches with no inspiration behind them, and it's easier to just shit out a dozen guardrail caches instead of putting the time in to make one that has something slightly interesting going for it. Yeah, I know, some of you are going, poor Skimbosh, and I can take it. Because I know my opinion is shared by others. I know I'm not alone. In fact, I think there's someone behind me. Oh, it's Wanda Weekend. Yeah, give me 200 on Vasquez in the 4th round. Thanks. How to treat your reviewers. This should be simple, but I'm going to verbalize some things that some of you need to hear. Reviewers are humans, allegedly. Just a little joke that surely won't prevent my caches from being published in the future. Reviewers are humans, and they're also volunteers. It appears to me that there are not a whole lot of them, with only 1 or 2 people covering huge areas. So give them some time to respond to your inquiries, like 7 business days, before messaging them, "When's my cache going to publish? Is my cache going to be published today?" It's possible that they make mistakes or oversights or play favorites or press the wrong button, but they're not there to be your personal assistant or point out rules that you could have found with one simple search. Sidebar rant. If the post on the geocaching forums, our geocaching in the various discords are any indication, a whole bunch of you seem to be incapable of searching up simple information on your own. This worries me, because if you can't figure out that you can search the World Wide Web, then I'm not confident you're capable of hiding a cache correctly. Anyway, back to the reviewers. Don't hit on them, curse them out, or ask them why they didn't laugh at your joke about how many reviewers does it take to screw in a light bulb. Answer: none. The light bulb was never published because it was too close to another light bulb. Don't try to fudge your coordinates or skirt the rules with them to get your cache published. Don't try to bribe them, or at least be decent enough to make the bribe something substantial. Don't do any of that. Just give them the information or idea you are proposing. Give them the details and things will hopefully move along swiftly. I know you're paranoid that the reviewers are secretly selling or giving away the solution to your Snorks puzzle, so you're trying to be vague and hide things from them, but I'm 93% sure this doesn't really happen. If your cache gets rejected, don't take it out on them. 1, I'm pretty sure they're just following some guidelines or secret PDF, and 2, it's rude, and 3, why would you want to piss off the gatekeepers of cache publishing, you idiot? Well. And now, the number one piece of advice for the cache owner. Drumroll, please. Yeah, not only am I a terrible cache owner, I'm a terrible sound editor too. The number one piece of advice is this. Do not, under any circumstances, make your hint say no hint needed. If you're being serious, just leave it blank. We get it. If you're making a joke, I assure you it has been done before, and the only people that find it funny are the same people that throw down spare caches they keep on their person for when they can't find your hide. I spit on throwdowns. Oh. Yeah, I guess I didn't really have to actually spit there. Now I gotta clean that up. That's how much you should hate throwdowns. Okay. To end on a positive note, there are many styles of play, many styles and types of hides, and not all of these are going to gel and work together in perfect harmony. That shouldn't stop you from hiding the type of hides that you like to find. That's the axiom most of us go by. Follow the very minimal rules, respect that there were many others before you and me, show some basic civility to everyone involved, and if you have never hidden a cache before, don't let any of this discourage you. Let it guide you to a realm of favorite points and the accolades of your fellow cachers. If your heart is true and your cache well-intentioned, then I hope the geocaching gods bless it with a long life. Oh yeah, if you have links or guides to videos that you have made or used in regards to hiding caches, or any additional advice or tips for anyone perusing this, please share them in the comments. Be sage out there. No, I mean safe, yes. Be safe out there. See? Spell checking is important.